right, everybody, let's begin today's session. Happy Friday, Junior. As always, I'm in my new little pod chair, waiting for Jasmine to jump up here. Come here, sweetie pie. Come on. She's thinking about it. Trying to mix it up a bit, make it look cuter, comfier, more convenient for me. Although I have to pretty much relocate everything from one side of my apartment to the other. But I don't care. It's cute. Plus, if a kitty... Here she comes. There we go. If a kitty wants to cuddle, it's not that much of an imposition. Anyway, so yeah, it's officially October, everybody. Can we believe it or not? This weekend, Nashville's having a Oktoberfest, like most cities, I presume, or would assume. And we're definitely going because it's down the street from where we live. And that's where, cute story real quick. That's where I adopted Walter. There was it looks like a food truck. So there was this like cat adoption truck from the Nashville Cat Rescue. And, there he is. He's about to make an appearance. The Nashville Cat Rescue had like a cat truck basically at the Oktoberfest. And you just walk inside the truck and, look at it. There was just a ton of little kittens, right? Because those are easier to adopt out, but they all needed homes, right? And I had gone through it like 3 or 4 times, just being like, I don't know. I really want another kitty. I don't know which one is going to be it, because they pick you, right? And I can't sit right. Hold on. So yeah, the last time that I'd gone through it, I was just looking at a little kitten. I had just put it back, and a volunteer walked behind me with this big white thing, and there were only kittens there, no adult cats, and I see this big white thing kind of floating behind me. Walter, no, you can't jump up here. And I was like, hi, what's that? Can I hold it? She goes, sure. And it ended up being Mr. Walter, and he just let me hold him. And he was the exact cat that I really dreamt of. And to be honest, I probably would buy if I had the money, because I really wanted a white, fluffy cat with blue eyes. And usually you can only buy those, And I was like, if one comes up for adoption, then I'll do it. And here we are, a whole year later. And he's my sweetie guy, and he's exactly what I was looking for. Like, talk about manifestation, guys. Like, that, I got it. Now if I could only do that with the lottery. I can't. I just gotta hone it in a little bit. But yeah, on another note, it's also still another exciting month because it's my birthday month, y'all. 33. That's it. Entering the mid-30s, and I'm loving it. It's the best decade yet. The 20s, some people probably like prefer their 20s over their 30s or whatever, but I don't, honestly. My 20s were so difficult, and I'm so much more stable now, and in a stable relationship, stable job, stable financial situation, 2 cats. I look better than I've ever looked. Like, I'm living the best years of my life. So, yay me. This is really all about me. These little sessions we have together. Isn't that great? So that's what we'll be doing this weekend. What are you doing this weekend? I don't care. No, I do. I'm just kidding. I'm just talking to myself. But this is the second time I've had to record this episode because the first time... So that's why I feel like I'm going back and forth a little bit. The first time I did this yesterday, when I went to go edit it just sounded horrible. Like I was talking from across the room, and I was like, I can't do it like that. And so I was like, let's just redo it. Not a problem. Today I wanted to kind of continue on this little trend that we've been doing lately, which is talking about excuse me, talking about like the basics of, health and fitness, because what we're all about here is, being well informed, doing what works for you. No quick fixes, no cutting corners, no trendy diets or whatever, just like working, using what works for you. Gotta fix this. Yeah, doing what works for you and it being personalized to you, and, just really working with the basics. Like no trend diet, no, drugs in your arm or whatnot. And if you listen to Lindsay and I's episode about macros, that's kind of where we have started out with macros. So go back and listen to that if you want. But we'll keep talking about some of these like basic things that have to do with like health and fitness and the things that, move the needle a little bit toward your goals. And, you can dial it in a lot, for the people who are an athlete or in some sport. There's a lot of things that you can do, and it can get really overwhelming when you're trying to achieve, most of us where we're at, we're achieving, a fat loss or weight loss goal. And then of course we could all agree that we want to better our overall health, not just lose weight, right? But generally if we have we have a physique goal in mind, and there's no shame around that. Obviously we want to be the best versions of ourselves. So there's just so much noise that's out there when it comes to this subject, and it's been like that, ever since the internet probably was created. And, there's a lot of fakes out there, a lot of misinformation, and, even the good information can still be like, well, I still don't get it. What do I do though? That's why we did the macro 101 episode, talking about what macros are, how to calculate them, where to start with them, actionable steps. We all love that because we'll get this information and we'll be like, okay, well then what now? So, and I had been there so many times. So me being able to have, this podcast and our coaches doing what they're doing, we don't want anybody to ever feel like that or be in that position of like, this is great information, but what do I do? I don't know what to do now, because you tend to feel kind of like that, like decision paralysis, right? If you could put it that way. So with that said, I want to talk about something that is quite basic, if you will. And for those of you who have heard my story, you're an OG. I wrote down a couple notes. I got to get this organized here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for those of you who have heard my story, you will know, where I started, several years ago with my journey and deciding to just take my health seriously. Where I started was when I was feeling, that overwhelm, like I just talked about, and sick and tired of starting and stopping, yo-yoing, and just being frustrated and overwhelmed, all this stuff, right? So I'd finally gotten to the point where I was like, of course, yeah, I want to lose weight, but in reality, like, I just want to do good things to my body. That's really, if you could narrow it down to what I'm really trying to do, is just do good things. And so I was like, okay, well, I do know that water is good for me. That's a given. Like that's a fact that cannot be disputed. So that's where I started with all this. So I was like, let's just drink the amount of water that I need to every day. The rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces. So that's what I did. I was pissing all the time. And I just kept going, and I realized, and during that time I was going to like little gym classes, I was sad and lonely because my, ex-husband was in the military and gone all the time. So I just needed to do something, and I didn't really have any friends. I had one friend. So it's not like I wasn't doing anything else with my health. But during this time when I really started drinking water, it really started to snowball into better habits. So that's what I want to talk about is, just the basic benefits of water. This is not going to be a science lecture. Like, it could be about the ins and outs of water and the molecules and all this stuff. Like, it's not going to be like that. If anything, it's just going to be like a reminder and encouragement to drink your water. Mine's way over there, but the second I start recording, my bladder is like, oh yeah, by the way. So I have to pause that for now. So let's just talk about a little bit about the benefits of water in terms of how it can aid in your weight loss and fat loss journey. So first of all, what I mean by weight loss versus fat loss, I could weigh myself right now, go pee, and then weigh myself again. It's going to be a different number. That's weight. Right? Weight loss. So when you do start drinking a lot of water and replacing the other beverages with water, you can get a lot of reduced inflammation, and that will help with weight loss. You'll see the scale go down for sure, and then you might even see inches go down. That was never the case for me because water is something that was never the case for me when I first started with the FFP. I'll do that because I'd already been drinking. I'd had that habit for so long already that my body wasn't really inflamed, if that makes sense. So that's what water can be really, really good for. There's other things that aid in inflammation, decreasing inflammation in your body. Water is just one of the biggest ones, though, because it just helps flush, your kidneys, your liver. Let me look at my little list here. So one of the things that it can help do is boost your metabolism. So there was a study, I'm going to read this little bit here. There was a study that found that overweight people who drank 50 ounces of water per day throughout the day showed a decrease in body weight, and body mass index, and body composition scores by regularly drinking water throughout the day. And you can maintain a higher metabolism, which may support weight loss and weight management. So pretty much what that is saying is that it takes effort for your body to process the water and to work it. And also it's like a thermogenic thing. So if you drink cold water, your body, it has to work harder to regulate your body temperature, right? Does that make sense? So also, I kind of mentioned this before when it comes to your liver. Your liver is what helps break down. It breaks down your food, right? It's one of the things that's right before your intestines and goes right into your intestines and it comes out your body, right? If you hear what I'm saying. So if you focus on a side note, I started focusing on my liver health back in the day, and that made a difference. It really did, because I never sweat. I would never sweat ever. A tough workout, I might have had like a little beady something up on my face, but bro, I never sweated. And at one point I was like, this might be a problem because you need to sweat. My body was holding onto water, which means I was inflamed, and it was using as much water as possible so it wasn't going to excrete it. Right. So I started focusing on my liver health by drinking water, because it can, it plays a role in that fat metabolism, right? And staying well hydrated ensures that your liver can effectively break down stored fats into useful energy, which again promotes weight loss. So focusing on your liver health, I'm not talking about detoxes, let's be clear. We don't necessarily promote that, but also at the same time, there are things that can help your liver. You can take a little supplement, whatever you feel you've researched and would be good for you. Lemon is really good. I used to drink that every morning, a shot of lemon. I love lemon already. So lemon is really good first thing in the morning for your liver health. Look at us learn over here. You hear that, Jasmine? Anyway, next thing would be that it can help reduce appetite. I want to preempt this by saying that it's not about eating less. So if you're hungry, drink water just so you avoid eating. No, there's types of hunger cues, and it's important to understand what your hunger cues are and which is which. So you can be hungry, but that might be your body saying that I'm actually dehydrated. So that's why you've probably heard people say, oh, if you're hungry, just drink a large glass of water and then see if you're still hungry, or something like that, because it usually is that your body just needs water. And it's happened to me before where I'm like, I'm hungry. And I was like, well, when's the last time I chugged a little bit of water? So I would do that. And yeah, I wasn't really hungry, and hunger might come 10 minutes later, like real hunger. So that's what we're kind of talking about when it comes to reducing appetite. So, and that's just kind of a fun, if you want to call it fun, a unique way to help get the amount of water in that you need every single day is just have a big glass before your meal or before you eat, whatever. And again, as we know, water helps with like your workout performance. So you're not getting muscle cramps, you're not fainting, which has almost happened to me. And the other thing that I kind of wanted to touch on when it came to this was it can replace high calorie beverages. So if you're somebody who is a pop drinker, this is kind of what we're talking about. Also, with alcohol, when I started to reduce the amount of alcohol that I was drinking, my coach at the time just told me to, in between every drink of alcohol, like a sip of it, have a gulp or two of water, and that can help slow you down because you're peeing all the effing time, and it's super annoying when you're at a restaurant or at a bar, and it's like, I hate the potties. I judge restaurants and bars based off of their potties, like it's a thing. So, that is a little tip and trick. If you are trying to reduce your alcohol consumption, just kind of challenge yourself a little bit, because that is the one thing that goes out the door when you start drinking is you aren't looking at the glass of water, right? So just do that, and that can help just keep you hydrated because alcohol, dehydrates you. And then when it comes to other beverages that have calories like pop, and don't come at me with the 0 calorie pop because it might be 0 calories, but bro, come on, let's be real. There's shit in it. Real shit. Not literal shit, just real shit. You know what I mean? Bad stuff for you. And I get it though. I love a good bubbly. I love sparkling water. And the transition from pop to sparkling water, you guys are like, that's disgusting. I would never do that. And I'd never had a problem with pop or, soda for you northerners or southerners, whatever. I'm from the Midwest, so. That transition might be kind of gross, but it does help kind of cure that little pop craving that I'll have, that carbonated water that I'll want, or carbonated like texture on my tongue. And then, but there are times where I do want a Sprite, and you know what, that's okay. But it's about, if you're logging it, log it. And it's like, there are people that I found that, they stopped drinking in anything with calories because it was like, I'd rather eat them. Like, I hear that. And don't you dare come at me with, I don't like the taste of water. I cannot stand it when people are like, I don't like the taste of water. I shut up real quick because I'm about to get into a literal fist fight. Like, are you serious? You're not a child. You're not 5. Like, ugh, that bugs the shit out of me. They don't like water. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And then I just like change the subject because it really just bugs me. Like, get over it. You're not 5 anymore. Get over it. Understand how good water is for you and your entire health in general, not just weight loss, right? Because your body, what do they say, is made up of 80% water? That sounds kind of high, but I wouldn't be surprised. But just do good things to your body. You know what? There was a time a while ago I saw a lady do an experiment with herself. I really want somebody to do this that I know. Like, if you're listening, please do this, especially if you know you don't drink a lot of water. But she had heard that water is really good for your skin, which it is, by the way. Helps reduce wrinkles, can make you look fuller, plumper, more hydrated, more even skin tone, acne, the list goes on, y'all. So she did this experiment where she took 30 days and drank a gallon of water every single day and did a before and after photo. She looked 10 years younger. I am not joking. I really want somebody to do this because it's just one of those, it's the most simplest, easiest, free thing that you can do for your health is drink water. That is that easy. And there's so many other things when it comes to your health that are that easy. And, I challenge you to look those up and to try it and experiment and have fun and just do nice things to yourself. That sounds like as if, I assume everyone's being mean to themselves or doing bad things to themselves, but we've all been there. We all wonder, why do I do the things that I do? And I know this is bad for me, but why am I doing it? And you know what? The answer is different for everybody, and that's for you to figure out. And that's what we're here for as well. Isn't that funny? I wonder where you can find a good coach. Huh. Well, anyway, guys, I kind of want to just touch on that little bit about what water is and how it can help you. Take a sip right now if you're listening. And I hope that helps. Let me know what else you guys want to hear when it comes to the basics. This sounded, water, duh. But honestly, I think I cannot never ever assume that people just know what I know. Right? Because it's such a basic thing. Of course everybody knows what 1 + 1 is. Well, there's probably people out there who don't, for an example. So let me know if there's anything you guys want to hear. No shame if you want to know how walking. Maybe we'll talk about walking next week. You know what? We're going to talk about walking next week because I've heard some great things about that and some studies that I've heard about the power of walking, not power walking, but the power of walking and the longevity it adds to your life. So, you know what? Stay tuned for that. And if you haven't listened to my friend Ella Catherine's podcast where she features me, that is already out. Just go to her podcast for Better Self and Net Worth on Spotify and Apple. I think she's in other places as well, but you get to hear me talk again because you're obsessed with me. You love me. But yeah, reach out to me. Tell me happy birthday if you haven't already. It's not until the 30th, but you know what? I'll take it any day this month. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for tuning into your ears. Love you. And until next week, have a great, great weekend. Bye. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.